Hey everybody, one of Weezum here a little after 4 a.m. early Monday morning, September 22nd, 2014. Just went through the long, painstaking process, roughly 28 minutes worth of documenting Super Gulp Pop Fizz just down one path, Mad Scientist. Reason I didn't do Best of the Beast, I don't have a second Super Gulp Pop Fizz. He's got Berserker Boost coming out in Trap Team. That's going to go down Best of the Beast, and I'm content with that. So, as you can see, I've got Dark Spyro here on the portal. Now, to me, again, he should be like Dark Mega Ram Spyro, particularly, you know, like some of the dark characters, pretty much all of them actually, that don't have a second one, which is all of them. It's not a big deal to just have Dark Stealth Elf or Dark Washbuckler, but with Dark Spyro in SSA, the 3DS, just like Pop Fizz, we had Punch Pop Fizz and Giants. In SSA, the 3DS starter pack exclusive was Dark Spyro. So naturally, that character was called Dark Spyro. Now this character is called Dark Spyro. To me, it would have been nice to have like some distinction, and obviously the adjectives prior to the name Mega Ram makes sense. So Dark Mega Ram Spyro, or S3 Dark Spyro, anything really would have been cool with me. But nonetheless, Dark Spyro, a fan favorite, one of my personal favorites in the game. My nephew really enjoys him as well. So what I am going to do, since it is Mega Ram Spyro, I'm going to take the standard Spyro down Blitz Spyro, and then since I kind of prefer Sheep Burner, I'm going to take Dark Spyro down Sheep Burner. So my Mega Ram Spyro, I came in, I've taken all of his upgrades minus the path, and I wanted to do the Soul Gem, but of course it got locked out with the path, so you'll get to see that. But nonetheless, we're going to come in here. His primary attack, he has got the Flame Ball. As you can see, his Flame Ball, actually, it also looks different, but if you note, it's not the greatest range in the world. The charge attack, basically 2 seconds. So the Flame Ball, you're going to do 42 to 63, which again is kind of a limited range, as you can see here. And then the charge attack, 22 to 34, and you get roughly 3 seconds out of it. I have not bought his flight, which is surprising to me. I usually do that with these characters, but long range raise, this sounds stupid, but it is a huge upgrade, particularly for a character that, you know, was accented by the ranged abilities, or it's their strong suit depending on the path you take. But 320 is the price with the full discount. Again, 18 wing sapphires, 36% off. You would need a total of 12,088 to buy every upgrade for this guy under those circumstances. So we'll pick this one up, and in my opinion, it basically doubles it. No increase in damage, but it does essentially double your range. Spyro's Flight. This is just handy for speed, getting around. Plus, it's cool. He's a dragon with wings. I mean, it's expected, but you know, it's nice. So 448, press X to fly, and this is what I like: increase speed and armor while flying. Again, I replace resistance with armor because I'm old school. So we're gonna pick that up. If I ever back out of these, again, it's because I've been using the Xbox One controller and the button layout switched, and you wouldn't believe how big of a problem that is when you memorize the buttons, you know, and don't think about, you know, anything else. That said, Sprint Charge is up next. 576 is the path. Again, it does not increase the damage. You're going to stay 22 to 34, but you go an extra 2 seconds, 3 to 5. And believe it or not, that's actually a noticeable increase in your runtime. So it comes highly recommended, I suppose we should say. Next up, we have triple flame balls for 768. You shoot 3 flame balls at once, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Again, this one is just super effective, regardless of what you plan to do with Spyro. Now, you can do Sheep Burner Spyro to further develop Spyro's Flame Ball attacks, or you can take Blitz Spyro to further develop Spyro's charging attack. And to me, if you just had standard Mega Ram Spyro, it would be the path to take here, based solely on the aesthetics of the figure and the name of the figure. So, that said, we're going to do that, just not with Dark Spyro. We're going to go in and we're going to take Sheep Burner. So, actually, I hit the wrong button again because I've been playing with the Xbox One controller, so we'll just check out what we just bought and then we'll come back in and do that. So that said, what did we get? We got long range raise. Note, from about right here I wasn't able to hit this guy, and now I can. And you'll also note that we have triple flame balls. So 42 to 63 though, the damage has yet to increase. If you hold Y down, you don't get any extra range. Some of the characters do, but you get the idea. From all the way at the staircase, he's almost hitting that guy. So pretty nice upgrade there. You've seen the triple stuff, obviously. Now if I try to charge, you should count to 5. And he basically times out. That was a little longer than 5, I think. But roughly 5 seconds, and again 22 to 34. And of course the other thing that we picked up is the ability to fly. Again, you can see how much quicker he gets around. And of course, the best thing about being in flight, you get the increased speed, the increased armor, and you can still fire off your flame balls. So any chance you have to get up in the air and fly, I would take it. Obviously, if you execute your secondary attack while in flight, he drops down out of flight, and you're basically left with that. So let me add on Spyro's flights, increase speed and armor. And we are now ready to go back to the power pod and attempt to select Sheep Burner without pressing the B button, which is where the A button is on the Xbox One controller, and it makes you wish there was just a standardized button layout for game makers. You know, if you don't switch platforms, I know a lot of people, particularly like Sony and Microsoft, they just refuse to touch Nintendo stuff. So when you know that controller, it's not a big deal, but when you platform hop, like I've been doing here recently, it sucks, because I know the Nintendo layout easy, and then by now, I mean, the Minecraft came out on the 5th for the Xbone. I've pretty well got the button layout down there, aside from that ridiculous left analog stick controlling the camera angle thing. But the problem is that when I come in here and I'm wanting to select and back out simple functions, you screw them up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, pick up a different console with a different button layout, and you'll soon learn where my pain comes from. But nearly pressed B again, but Sheep Burner Spyro further develops Spyro's Flame Balls attacks. We'll really press A this time. I'll select it. First up, Fire Shield for 1088. A Fire Shield appears when using the Flame Ball attack. This one's kind of hard to document, but it's easy to see, so we'll be content with that. Again, great look at Dark Spyro there. Next up, Exploding Fire Blast for 1408. Flame balls do extra damage, and the middle one explodes. So let's go ahead and pick that up. And we can actually buy this one too. It's called the Daybringer Flame. Hold Y to charge up Flame Ball attack for maximum damage. This again was featured in, I think it was Spyro and the Mask of Power. Don't hold me to that. It's one of the first books, full-length ones, you know. And we can actually buy the Soul Gem too. Soul Gem again has been around since SSA. It hasn't changed. That's the Wow Pow that changes. The Soul Gem is Spyro's Earth Pound, 2560. This power gives Spyro a new flight attack. Press A while flying to dive bomb. I was a big fan of this. In SSA, I kind of thought it was cool that Spyro and Drobot could fly, and then they both had upgrades tied in with that unique ability. So I remember those days well, and we'll, you know, be cool with that. So I think I could actually buy the Wow Pow too. Let's just go ahead and do it. Head Start, that is the Wow Pow here for Dark Spyro. 3,200 is the price. Summon a magic worm ally at the end of your charge and send it after your enemies. So the picture gives an idea of what I assume to expect. But again, you remember what Dark Spyro looked like. This may change his appearance. That's what the Wow Pows tend to do. Hopefully we like it, and I will assume he will wind up with the Mega Ram horns. So let's click A and see. Yes, subtle change. I'm not going to object to that. I actually prefer him standard, but there's nothing wrong with this. And I mean, it matches the figure this way too. So let's come over here. First thing we want to check out is the Fire Shield. You can kind of see it there. I'm going to see if I can position ourselves. Was it doing 50 maybe? You know what, I bet, yeah, it's going to be the 14. And if I just fire off the flame balls repeatedly, so it's basically like a 1.5 second deal. So 14 to 21. Orbiting shield while firing. So hopefully that makes sense to people. Then we have, let me actually adjust these column widths here. There we go. Exploding Fire Blast. I think that's the one where the middle fireball explodes. Yeah, actually they do extra damage. So we were doing 42 to 63. Let's see what we're getting now. Trying to great range these actually. Let's set this up. So 50 to 75 will be standard affair. You're seeing 77 because of the charm. And then let's see, how can we get that middle one to blow? I don't know. I don't know if you have to be at the right distance or something. That's still 50. It's interesting stuff. I don't know. That's gonna be hard to document, I think. The Daybringer Flame. It's also, that's not 750. I was looking for the down arrow. Alright. Daybringer Flame, you've actually got to charge it a decent amount of time if I remember right. So let's see what we have to do. You can move while you're doing it. And then 120. So. Basically, once you start to see like the sparklies in front of his mouth, that's just the best way I know to explain it. 120 and then 180 on the critical. So basically 2 seconds. So I'm going to put 2 second charge, 120 to 180, not 185. That's with the charms. So now back to the Soul Gym, good old-fashioned Spyro stuff here. Let's try that Exploding Fire Blast again. I don't know, that doesn't seem to happen with any decent execution. So while in flight, we need to press the A button or attack 2 on your console of choice, and you'll see the Earth Pound. So the coolest thing about it is that you stay in flight afterwards. So let's check it out. 135. 208, good lord. I don't remember it doing that much damage. If it does, I've seriously underutilized it in the past. I hadn't really heard anyone talk about it doing astronomical damage, but 135, half of that would be, geez, what, 67 and a half, so 68. 135 and 68 would be 203, I believe. That sounds good. I'm really tired, so we'll just assume I'm correct. And then head start. This is actually going to be the Wow Pow. So, summon a magic worm ally at the end of our charge, and it's going to go after our enemies. So, I assume you have to do a full 5-second one, because we didn't extend it. Okay, that looked really weird. I guess they're intending for it to look like a worm half burrowed and half exposed on the surface. Yeah, I guess the way it moves, I'd understand it. Okay, now what I need is to get it to go where I want it to. Well, this is annoying. I can tell you right now, I am not a fan of this at all. I keep running into it. It's like I set myself up to stop ahead of the dummy, and then somehow we still make it. I think it's going to be 55. Let me go all the way down here and see what happens. If he hits the dummy from here, that's just insane. Thank you. So 55. I think this is a deal that's going to make more sense to go down Blitz Spyro when you want to be doing a full extended charge, and then this will just come as like a bonus type thing. But if you go Sheep Burner, this is just kind of like an annoying deal that if you really want to use it, just do a complete charge. But again, if you take Sheep Burner, you're probably not a big fan of the charge, and you just use it at random or when you want to. So half of 55, that'd be 27 and a half, so 28, that would be 83 if we ever had a critical number there. So in all honesty, I prefer his Soul Gem. So, and again, like I said though, Head Start, you really have to want it when you're down Sheep Burner. Whereas if you take Blitz Spyro, you want to be charging, you want to be doing it for as long as you can. And then as I said, this will just kind of serve as a bonus from the Wow Pow side of things. So in that aspect or perspective, it's actually like a very nice addition. It's almost like a fourth upgrade down Blitz Spyro, if you will. So if that makes no sense to you, you're going to see what I mean, because we're actually going to showcase that with regular Mega Ram Spyro, not the Dark Edition. So, and again, to me, it should be Dark Mega Ram Spyro. Now, the good news is this guy is actually fully upgraded with the base stuff. No path, no Soul Gem, no Wow Pow, but the base stuff is done, so we can just hop in here. We've got all that documented, and again, Spyro, super easy to document. Much appreciated on my end. We just did Sheep Burner Spyro with Dark Mega Ram Spyro, as I like to refer to him, because I'm a stickler for, I guess, uniqueness. But I prefer that path. This one's actually really good though, so we're going to take it. As Blitz Spyro further develops Spyro's charging attacks. If I'm stuttering or rambling, I apologize. I'm just really tired. It's actually getting hard to keep my eyes open. So I'm going to bed after this immediately, after I brush my teeth. So practice hygiene, you know. Anyway, stun charge for 1088. Enemies hit by charge attack become stunned. This is kind of an underappreciated element, and they really started to utilize it more here in SWA Force, with the enemies getting sent up into the air or temporarily, you know, basically like short-term paralysis type stuff. I don't think... Let's go ahead and grab the Soul Gem, since you know about it. I don't think that does increase damage on stun charge, but let's back out and just be safe about it. So, if you want to see the or Soul Gem, I should say, which actually performs way better than the Wow Pow, you're in flight, and then of course you press the attack 2 button. And you know the drill. We're going to do 135 to 203, and he stays in flight, which is so nice. Most of the times when you do things like that, then you go back and you're like, why am I not flying still? But they did it right with this guy. So that said, what are we going to showcase now? Stun charge. I can't really show the enemies, but I want to see if we do 22 to 34. That's what we're doing. Yeah, the sheep actually did get stunned there, which is interesting. So let's check this. 5 seconds. I can't believe we could document that here. That's like a first. 22 to 34. I'll actually put still 22 to 34. So 5 seconds. Stun. That's kind of cool. I don't remember it being that long, but again, you kind of just eradicate people when you're charging with Spyro down that path. So, and that's because of these next two upgrades. So, Comet Dash 1408, charge attack does increase damage. Note the improved aesthetics there as well, so we'll pick that up. 22 to 34, that is our damage count, no more. We're about to take that to a new level here, so let's go ahead and do that. 28. And again, you can kind of see like the sheep just kind of like freeze and then jump back into motion after 5 seconds. So 28, 42 should be our critical number. Again, the 43 is because of a charm, so my apologies. You know, we'll hop back in here. I don't know why that was rumbling so much on the iPad. Not iPad, gamepad. Like I said, I am really tired. Anyway, Ibex Wrath Charge. This is the final upgrade down the Blitz Spyro path. It's really what was kind of like the highlight from my experiences in the past down this path. 1920 is the price with our discount. Charge longer to do extra damage. So we're going to pick that up. Now the catch here is, in order to fire off that Wow Pow, you're going to have to complete the charge, which has now been extended. So that's, again, part of the reason I'm not a huge fan of that Wow Pow. I'd already thought of that when we first saw it with Dark Spyro. So let's get our, and I think, in my opinion, it should do extra damage throughout, because I think, if I remember right, it's going to do like your standard previous damage, which was 28 to 42. I think it should do an increase all across the board, but let's go ahead and count this, and then you'll kind of see what it does. So basically, after 2 seconds, you go into Ibex Wrath. So I'm putting Wrath after 2 seconds, which I hope that makes sense to people. Let me try that again. Basically 7 seconds. Yeah, I'm content with that. So you've gone from 3 seconds box stock, 5 seconds on sprint charge, the base upgrade, and now down this path you've added another 2 seconds to 7 seconds. So you've essentially gone in and you've more than doubled your box stock charge time. And now the thing is, Ibex Wrath does increase damage, so let's go ahead and check that out. I'm going to start down here. We're doing 28 to 42 right now. Whoops. Again, I'm using the Xbox controller layout when I did that. So here we go. 36, and of course that means we would be doing 54 on a critical hit. 7 second charge, 36 to 54, and I believe that is it. So the issue now, like I just stated, when we come in and we buy the Wow Pow, where we just have to run 5 seconds of the charge. Now Blitz Spyro, now in order to shoot the worm out, the Wow Pow, we actually have to run the full 7, which I say that because sometimes, I don't know, if you're in nightmare mode, you're liable to get hit, and that might screw things up. You might be charging and some new enemies appear, or the situation changes, and you want to abort that and shoot a fireball or something. That will all keep you from executing a full charge, which will then keep you from using Head Start the Wow Pow. So, that said, we're going to pick it up for 3,200. Summon a magic worm ally at the end of your charge and send it after your enemies. And the other thing I don't like, the worm doesn't seem to have like a very long duration or travel ability. But anyway, now Mega Ram Spyro actually matches the figure, which is very cool. So let's check it out. We've got to go 7 seconds and then shoot. Yeah! 55. That was actually the best I've seen it travel. And sadly, it doesn't pass through enemies or anything, so that's pretty much that. So, me personally, I prefer Sheep Burner Spyro. I prefer the Soul Gem over the Wow Pow. I honestly am not a fan of this Wow Pow. It's just one of those things, if you happen to do a full charge, it's kind of there. So, I mean, you can't argue with that, but is there something cooler we could have done? Yes. Is there something more effective we could have done? Yes. Are there a crud ton of options that would be better to further expand Spyro by way of the Wow Pow than Head Start? In my humble opinion, definitely. It's not horrible, it just leaves a lot to be desired, you know. Again, I really don't see myself using it that much unless I'm specifically charging, and then it's just, like I said, kind of a bonus. I'm not doing a full charge thinking, okay, I'm going to shoot off my Wow Pow, it's going to be awesome. I'm doing a full charge because I'm just doing it, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's right, that's how you do the Wow Pow with this character. Why don't I do that more? Oh, that's right, it leaves a lot to be desired. So the Daybringer Flame, I charge that up because I want to use it. Ibex Wrath, I go ahead and charge longer than 2 seconds because I want to see it and have the increased damage. The Wow Pow, yeah, I'm not a fan. It's just kind of there, like I said. So maybe you love it. That's fine and great. Maybe you're like me and you think, man, I could have done some really cool stuff with this character. Or maybe you prefer the previous Wow Pow. Maybe, I don't know, you're so proficient with Sheep Burner you don't even mess with the charge or something. So whatever the case, I mean, it is what it is. Your play style dictates a lot, your personal preferences. Again, not everyone prefers Sheep Burner Spyro the way they play the game, but for me, it's a great path. I do like Blitz Spyro. I really don't have much bad to say about Blitz Spyro. It's just the Wow Pow I'm not a huge fan of. So that said, Mega Ram Spyro, he now looks like he is supposed to, matches the figure. I'm pretty stoked about that. We've got Dark Spyro fully upgraded, or Dark Mega Ram Spyro as I like to call him, down the Sheep Burner, and then we've got standard Mega Ram Spyro down Blitz Spyro. So it's really the best of both worlds. Again, that's why it's nice to have two figures from the same game, in particularly when they're different. Legendary, Light Core, Dark, Nitro, Enchant, whatever it may be. That just means instead of me having two purple Mega Ram Spyros, I've got Dark Spyro and Mega Ram Spyro, and I can take both paths and have access to them easily in this game and others. So that's cool to me. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Take the link at the top of the video description box. It will take you to a post dedicated to Series 3 Mega Ram Spyro and Series 3 Dark, as I like to say, Mega Ram Spyro. You'll be able to see the spreadsheet. You can see those damage numbers and everything. Help you pick a path. Make sure you pick the best path. Change paths. Whatever you need to do. Feel free to let me know what you think about the Wow Pow. If you've got a better idea, feel free to throw it out there. But once again, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, make sure to do that. Tons of cool stuff coming. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. It is 4:32 in the morning. I am deadbeat tired, and I am going to actually, I need to water some plants in Animal Crossing. But I got the gold net, and I've maxed my town out with 30 Public Works projects, which is sad because I've got a ton of real estate I'd planned to do some other things on, so did not know I had that many projects done. But that said, I'll spend a little time with that and try not to drop the 3DS on my face while I succumb to sleep. But hope everyone had a great weekend, and I will catch y'all back here for the tech element upgrades.